Seeing the Nintendo booth at E3 is one of the most awesome moments of the week. We remember running to the Wii, we remember Nintendo Land in 2012, we remember the epic Breath of the Wild booth from 2016. What will this year's Nintendo booth hold? That's what we're here to discuss. What's up, everybody? It's Zach from Switchers. I've got Jake and Gabe here, and I love the big booths of E3. One of my favorite parts, though, is rushing to Nintendo and seeing what their design is like, because some years it's pretty ho-hum, and then some years, like last, it's absolutely incredible. And so we're here to discuss what we think the booth is going to look like. And we'd love you guys to take in the comments down below if you like what we're saying or if you have a different idea for how you think the booth will end up for E3 2017. Let us know in the comments. But guys, I think the big question is, do they do more of the Breath of the Wild / Nintendo Land big displays and big sort of recreations of game worlds, or do they go with a more traditional, low-key, tons of kiosk, more standard setup?
I mean, if it's gonna be like the big set piece type, it's gonna have to be Mario Odyssey, right? Like,
right.
I'm sure
Mario.
I'm sure we see a ton of Mario all over the place, but you know, they do have a lot of stuff to show this year. They do have a new 2DS. They still have Splatoon coming, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade. You guys see all that in the screen. You know, so they're gonna need to space things out a little bit. So I hope it's just like more traditional kiosks, because I just want to play everything. I don't seeing like all the like attention and detail in the like decorations is cool, but I just want to play the games.
Yeah, I definitely like, we're there to play games, so hands-on is what we want. But I do have to say that there's something special when they do doll the booth up in all that extra style. It went a long way to really spreading Breath of the Wild. Not only the line, not only the quality of the game, but that booth was something that people were like, whoa, like, this is totally worth seeing even if you don't play the game. So I'd love to see them do something like that. I feel like because they have so much to show, and like you mentioned, they do still have some 3DS stuff and the new 2DS, I feel like it will be more traditional, but I do hope that they bring back sort of the Nintendo Land style, where it's not a full booth conversion, but they kind of embrace their more fun, vibrant, excited vibe and use a lot of cool displays. I feel like Mario Odyssey will have a really nice section. I remember that Super Mario 3D World, they had a little bit there, but it was, in my opinion, it didn't really do that game justice, and I feel like they probably learned from that, and based on Breath of the Wild, will do a lot more for Odyssey. So one thing I know that, Jake, you had mentioned was probably going to get that recreation of his like hat copter mobile flying machine.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a video where they had that set piece at another convention in Japan, so definitely that's going to take up some space. If we're doing that, do we think that then Mario Odyssey is going to be like down here, like right when you get to the booth, or in the middle, or what? Where do we think it's going to be?
Well, my best guess is that the two rightmost squares are their VIP and press sections. So this big area is what we mainly have to work with for games. I feel like they usually have a back wall that's set up for treehouse presentations and like a screen kind of showing off games. So I do wonder if maybe they put Mario Odyssey closer to that in order to sort of draw you into the booth and get you closer to their presentation to sort of, have more of that immersion. So my guess is that Mario Odyssey is actually going to be more towards the back middle of that rectangle.
Okay.
Back
So
towards
right here.
back middle.
I move it up even a little bit
Yeah,
more.
because it can't be on the fire lane. Safety first.
It's
What are you
over.
trying to
It's
do
flying
here?
over the fire lane.
Oh, it's his flying machine is actually flying.
So we think that Mario's stretching himself on the back wall here.
A little bit more up.
Up here.
Yeah.
He's holding on the top.
I think
the
Mario's
back
on there.
corner. All right.
Well, no, more like in the middle. Move more to the left.
Well, right here.
Right there. There you
Well,
go.
then what is this
Now-
wasted space behind
No,
Mario?
that's the treehouse area. That's going to be the treehouse area.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because
we need to put-
they do run those streams like all day. So
Right, and they said like that's where you're going to see a lot of, the 3DS development since the spotlight focuses on Switch. You'll get some of that. I do think that, again, they will have an area where they like come and look at like pretty new Joy-Con, come and look at a pretty new 2DS, come and look at new Amiibo. So after you get this lovely treehouse,
yes,
there's the treehouse, and then I'm guessing that below that will be their big screen, and then their sort of like new stuff display cases because they
Yeah.
definitely
Okay.
do like to do that.
Yes, they do.
Do we want to start like maybe trying to figure out where like some of these games are going to be, because they have a lot of stuff to show, as you guys see here.
I want to ask you guys, like, do we think that stuff like Rabbids and Sonic are in this booth, or do you think that Sega and Ubisoft hold them hostage?
I think they'll be around. Like, they have to have a bunch of stuff, right? Like to play on the Switch. Hopefully, my hope is that there's a lot of kiosks like right next to each other, like rows and rows of different stations. I hope ARMS isn't there. Like, the game's gonna be out. Like, keep it out.
I think you're gonna get an ARMS station.
Well, because there's gonna be the tournaments happening, right?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so maybe that screen is gonna be like a screen/stage area.
Yeah, because there is a stage area for.
So that's gonna be a big space.
Yeah.
And well, it could also be. They could also
Kinda like the
repurpose the
Smash Bros.
treehouse
Stage that they had.
but they could repurpose the treehouse stage.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So maybe treehouse and tournaments are all up in that upper area.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I think they're gonna want to be streaming that stuff. But yeah,
So I bet they have Rabbids and Sonic in small capacity, and then like the bigger display style is in like the Ubisoft booth and in the Sega booth.
yeah. See, that's what I'm thinking.
Aw.
Like, yeah, you keep Rabbids and you keep Sonic like down there.
They're so tiny.
Whether they have Mania or Forces or both, we don't know. But then Fire Emblem and Xenoblade like need a spot as well. Splatoon, I'm sure, is gonna have like a nice big area to it by itself, probably somewhere in there as well.
I feel like Splatoon is going to be up by Mario. I feel like they will group their golden gems together.
Okay. So we think that Mario and Splatoon and Treehouse is like all in that like top section.
And there's their Duke It Out stage.
The
Or
TV.
this is their. Oh,
You said the
they-
big screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. I do also think that like FIFA belongs somewhere down there with Sonic and Rabbids. I think they try to keep all their third party stuff like together. And whether this includes like NBA 2K, things like that. Like
Yeah, NBA is definitely going to be. I think NBA will be there. I think they will try and put. Now that you mentioned a lot of their third parties in their booth.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. You keep all the third parties together in a corner. You put Fire Emblem and Xenoblade right next to each other. And then, a huge Mario section, a huge Splatoon section, and I think we have a decent idea of what this is going to be like, right?
Where are they going to have 3DS on their show floor at all?
Yeah, for sure. I think that
Do you think that
2DS
they have?
will be- I was going to say
think
that the new 2DS is like going to 100% be playable there. People are going to be able to get
They
their hands
have
on
a
it.
section for it, like right here, or do they have a bunch of people?
I think
walking
it'll be
around
like
with them?
small, like in that like back corner, right where you are, like maybe more towards the bottom. They'll have like, they'll have the consoles tethered to people as they always do for you to play the newest Yokai Watch experience and whatever.
Hey, Pikmin.
Yeah. Maybe some new latent stuff. Who knows?
I guess my new question as we begin to fill this up is, if they announce anything big and surprising, is it playable, or is it more going to be something that's like so far off that okay, it's not going to really mess with this booth organization?
I do really hope that we get like a Zelda like type reveal of some fashion. Like it's not the best when like they reveal something and say, hey, it's coming like next year, and then it doesn't come for a long time. That's not what I'm talking about. But when they first announced like Zelda, like for Wii U, like there was no chance anybody's gonna play it. Like it was just like, hey, this cool thing has really happened. And again, pie in the sky scenario, right? Let's say Metroid gets announced. I don't think it's playable. I think we just see like like a trailer and stuff, and maybe we'll see banners for it somewhere. But I do think for like show floor playable wise, I think we've covered a lot of stuff. Third party stuff, maybe if the Dark Souls things ends up being real, of course, NBA 2K, we have Sonic, FIFA, Rabbids. That's a pretty good little section, and maybe the one thing that we are missing, Jake, and maybe you can put it right there in that space to the left of FIFA, indies. We might have some
Oh yeah, I think they will definitely do a little focus on that since that's been a strong suit for them thus far.
Yeah, and we've mentioned this in past E3 videos, but we do also believe that there will be Switch consoles throughout, the main like halls as well. Like it's not going to be Switches aren't Switch whatever isn't going to just be in Nintendo's area. We'll definitely have some indie section that have Switch consoles there.
Yeah, and I'm sure in the Sega booth you'll be able to play Mania on the Switch, and obviously Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Now, what about?
Sorry, right before we move on from the Capcom thing, because Capcom does have their own booth as well. Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Double Cross, that's coming.
That'll
in.
be there.
That's a big property. I would imagine that's even going to be in the Nintendo booth somewhere. But
All right, so I think you got to shrink the Fire Emblem Warriors and Xenoblade sections because we need some more space here.
Yeah, and then we'll probably have Monster Hunter double cross, and we did for sorry about not having an emblem for Monster Hunter, but you just put MH like maybe right next to him there in that space, and I think that obviously we're not gonna like pinpoint it exactly how it's gonna be, but I think this would be a pretty cool booth, right? Like you cycle through the big franchise on top with Mario and Splatoon, and the tree houses there and everything. You go down, you try out the other first party stuff, such as Xenoblade, Fire Emblem, and then make your way down, check out all the third party stuff, maybe try some ARMS. If you want to try some 2DS things along the way, they'll be there. I think this would be a really cool booth.
What about Virtual Console? Do they have demo stations for Virtual Console?
I don't even think it's going to be there. I'm very scared.
Jake, talk to me about this.
I don't think they would have designated consoles for it. I think they have too much other stuff to focus on.
But what if they're adding GameCube support? I feel like that would be something they absolutely would want people to see and would be a huge grab.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I really don't think so.
My dream here is that they announce Pikmin 4 and they have a little like Pikmin Forest section.
That would be cool.
That would be very, cool.
Very cool. But thank you, Jacob, for adding the Monster Hunter thing, because I do think that's going to be a big franchise.
So no Virtual Console.
Wait, it's already a big franchise. I mean, a big seller for them. That's what I meant.
Yeah, a big part of the Switch is lineup.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's gonna be Virtual Console like on the show floor. No,
it just doesn't make enough sense to me for it to be there.
Because it's old games. Like, and
I absolutely think if they are bringing if they announce Mario, Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, and Melee or something, that is absolutely 100% going to be on this.
No, and you know why? Because the whole reason E3 exists isn't for us. Well, I mean, I guess technically for us, but it's not like for just the people playing it there. I think it's more for people doing business, right? So if you work at GameStop and you're an executive there and you're at E3, you want to figure out, hey, how much shelf space am I going to dedicate to this, things like that. So I feel like Virtual Console, while cool to us, it's not as big a deal as we make it out to be. In the grand scheme of things.
Look how much attention the online though got just the other day. I feel like people are clamoring for Virtual Console.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you give it very valuable showroom floor.
Instead, they're going to give it to 2DS?
Well, yeah, 2DS is a new product. There's not a product associated with Virtual Console. That's on eShop.
That's a major moneymaker for them.
Yeah, but these games are going to be at the very least 10, 15 years old, way longer than that. If they're showing
if they are going to have ARMS on the show floor though.
Yeah, but ARMS is something that's about to come out and it's a $60 full game.
Yeah, do you not see the difference?
I just
why would they show Super Mario Galaxy or
it's not going to be Galaxy.
I mean, not Galaxy. I meant Sunshine. Excuse me. I'm misspeaking a lot today. Why would you put a game that's that old on the show floor when you can?
Because it's giving people a chance to get their hands on Virtual Console, which is going to be a very
VIP
hot news
section
item.
is all GameCube.
No, I definitely think you're wrong.
So you think they're just going to announce Virtual Console and say, "Play it later"? Sorry, we don't have it at E3.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a very, very tiny little section down here in the corner or back here.
Sure. I don't see it. I know Virtual Console does well and we all love it. We're all super excited for it, but I don't see them dedicating.
I think Virtual Console is going to sell more copies than some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Again, you guys let me know in the comments if I'm wrong.
Does Virtual Console deserve a spot on the show floor?
I want them to get rid of all this, right? Just all of it is just gone, and all we're left with is Pikmin, and it's just you walk in, the entire booth is Pikmin, and
the entire screen is Pikmin. Obviously.
Yeah. And you are made to feel like you're tiny, you're a tiny Pikmin. There's giant flowers, Alice in Wonderland style. Giant flowers and giant Pikmin and Almer looking down from the ceiling. That's what I want to see.
Okay, that could be cool, I suppose. But
I would love that. I think full booth conversions are really awesome. I don't think we get one this year, but I think it was great that we got to experience it at least once last year.
You think that their ARMS tournament and Splatoon tournaments are all up in this section up here?
Yeah,
up in the treehouse.
I feel like they're gonna.
I think they're gonna like double dip where the treehouse stuff is. Hopefully,
Yeah.
You don't think that they're gonna put like a arena out here, like an ARMS type arena or Splatoon type arena, like they have with like Smash Brothers in the past or something?
If you guys remember the PAX South thing we went to where we first played the Switch, where Jake and I did. Zach had already played it by that point. Like they had like that one like small stage with a there was an MC there like with a small group of people. I feel like the ARMS is gonna be like the tournament.
Yeah, but Splatoon they're gonna have 8 people playing, right? So you need a bigger
but you can
stage
just have
than
like
that.
two rows. Yeah, you can have like 2 rows of people. I don't
2
think
rows in the fire lane.
I think if Nintendo is willing to give space to Splatoon and ARMS tournaments, they're willing to give space to Virtual Console. But we'll see.
Okay.
What about Zelda DLC?
It's so short that I don't think I don't want it to be played. But we've played it. Like we've played
newer
Zelda.
one, like the one that is coming out.
No,
later?
like DLC Pack 2, the one with the dungeon.
It's coming in the fall. Yeah, so no, I don't want to play it. I don't want to be spoiled on that at all. I don't.
Well, you don't have to want to play it. I'm just saying, do you think it's going to be in the booth?
No, I don't. That's my answer.
I feel like that's one that would make sense to hold off, but at the same time, that is their biggest game.
It's so big it takes up all their booth again.
We know that they're probably going to have a photo op spot, like stand in the Mario pipe, or like
Is that tied into
this year it's going to be wear the Mario hat. You're going to wear the Mario hat this year.
Okay. Like stand underneath a big hat or stand on. Okay.
Yeah.
So we think that'll be that. I do wonder, I feel like we are. We talked about this in our predictions. I feel like we are going to get one more game that comes out this year. So I think we need to have a space for that. I don't know where it's going to be. Maybe up by Splatoon. Maybe Splatoon's a little bit smaller than Mario and it's up above that. But I do feel like there's one more game that is going to be, I feel like Nintendo will go with a 3-prong tentpole approach. And maybe they make Fire Emblem Warriors that third prong.
Yeah, Fire Emblem, Monster Hunter Double Cross is coming all this year.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like something that Nintendo is going to aggressively push as their own.
Sure, because Monster Hunter is a Capcom thing, but those games do so well. Monster Hunter's I think Monster Hunter is a much bigger franchise than we give credit for. So,
I think Retro's project could be there, and could have some significant floor space if it's far enough along.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the one more.
Yeah, it's hard to predict these things that we don't know are even true. But yeah, I suppose that could be.
Okay, and then Jake, you also need to give us. We didn't add it. You need to give the little amiibo stand beneath the treehouse.
Okay.
We need to give a little amiibo stand right there, and I think.
I mean, it's so clean and fresh right here.
It's hard to guess on things like Virtual Console or Pikmin since we don't know if those are going to be announced. But I think in general, this is pretty much how the booth is going to go down, and I'm excited because it was obviously great to get our hands on Breath of the Wild last year, but it'll be exciting to get back to just a whole bunch of Nintendo games and a whole bunch of cool stuff. And for the most part, save for Splatoon and ARMS, we haven't played any of this, so it will be really exciting to get our hands on new stuff. And as long as Mario delivers, like the booth is a winner. But then all the other options as well, Fire Emblem Warriors, Monster Hunter Double Cross, Xenoblade 2, the third-party stuff, potentially another surprise reveal. I'm even excited to get my hands on the 2DS XL. I think that looks nice.
I think it looks it's a very good-looking console. It's an attractive console. It's just,
and we need to get you guys on the 3DS train, so maybe that's the one
we need. And this is probably not the place for it, but I want that to lead into some streams because one of us, probably me and Jake, because it is 2 different franchises here. One of us needs to get really acquainted with Monster Hunter. One of us needs to get really acquainted with Fire Emblem, and those live on 3DS for the most part. So we got to get on that.
Absolutely. Ooh. Pokemon?
Brain Blast. What?
Pokemon?
Yeah, that'll be with the 3DS stuff, I think.
Unless it's for Switch.
Which, again, we don't know. Go check out our Pokemon Direct announcement video for a little bit more on that. But, yeah, let's not get into that here.
Something Pokemon is going to be there.
All the Pokemon.
Sure. Something with the Pikachu is going to be on the show floor no matter what, 3DS or whatever. Yeah, it could be the 3DS. It could be a Switch thing. My prediction, if it's 3DS, it's going to have a small space. If it is Switch, it's going to have a massive space.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll know about that one soon enough because the Direct is happening tomorrow.
Yes. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of our booth plan here and what you feel will be featured front and center in Nintendo's area of E3. What games you think will get the star treatment, what games you think may be omitted, and which ones have we missed entirely. Let us know in the comments down below. We are super pumped. Only a few days left until the show opens. It's going to be a great one, so make sure to stay tuned here at Switchforce for all the coverage. The three of us will be there. We'll be bringing you very, very frequent and very awesome updates of gameplay impressions, of new information, of booth tours, and more. So hit that like button if you're excited for E3. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch, from E3, and from us at E3. We'll bring you there with us. And until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. For myself, Jake, and Gabe, Switchforce out.